Very good afternoon, children. I am L.K. Tripathi. Dear children, we shall revise the chapter through this video also, that is History Chapter 2. Though already you have studied and discussed about this chapter through videos, recorded videos, online, and so many measures were adopted by the teachers to teach you. Again, I like to teach you through this video, so better to discuss it properly. That is the kings and kingdoms. This chapter will enable us to know about the kings and kingdoms of early times. Let's start. Around the time when Harshvardhana and Pulkesin II were locked in a war for supremacy in India, a revolutionary change was taking place not too far away from the Indian shores. It was the emergence of Islam in Arabia. That time means at the time of Harshvardhana and Pulkesin II, they had stopped themselves for the supremacy to show their supremacy in India. एक बहुत बड़ा क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन जो है हो रहा था भारत से दूर इस्लाम का, जो कि अरब में इस्लाम का यहाँ पर प्रोमिनेंस हो रहा था बहुत तेज़ी से, इमरजेंस हो रहा था यहाँ पर प्रादुर्भाव. Emergence of new kingdoms. During the earliest phase of the medieval history, roughly starting from the 7th century, जो अर्लीस्ट फेज़ है मेडिवल पीरियड का, मेडिवल हिस्ट्री का, वो करीब 7th सेंचुरी से शुरू होता है. Vassals or chieftains representing numerous clan identities rose in prominence in different parts of the subcontinent. Soon they acquired power and wealth and asserted their independence to establish independent kingdoms. For instance, Janti Durga defeated the Chalukyas and laid the foundation of the Rajputa dynasty. Some chieftains, such as the Gurjara Pratiharas, gave up their traditional occupation and successfully established their kingdom in Rajasthan. A clan of warriors, referred to as the Rajputs, dominated the history of North and Central India from about 750 century to 1200 century. They claim descendant from the solar family or lunar family. Many historians trace their ancestry to tribes such as the Huns, Kushanas, Sakas, etc. They established their kingdoms throughout North India and guarded the land from Arab and Turk invaders. During the reign of Harshvardhana, Kannauj became the center of all political developments in North India. On account of its strategic position, Kannauj fostered trade and commerce, and high fertility of the soil encouraged agricultural growth. Due to this, all new kingdoms that sprang up after the disintegration of Harshvardhana's empire, were equally interested in acquiring control over Kannauj. Varying kingdoms involved in tripartite struggle. The beginning of medieval Indian history was marked by a long struggle involving the Gurjara Pratihara of Malwa, the Rajputas of Deccan, and the Palas of Bengal to establish their supremacy over Kannauj. As this event involved three major regional powers, it is described by historians as the tripartite struggle. The constant struggle eventually weakened the three dynasties and resulted in their ultimate decline. The Gurjara Pratiharas. The Gurjara Pratiharas were the dominant power in western India, that is part of western and central Rajasthan and parts of central India. Initially, they had been local officials who later succeeded in establishing independent principalities. They also resisted the Arab incursions. The long time of powerful rulers of this dynasty included Nagbhatta, the founder of the dynasty, Vats Raja and Mihir Bhoj. Mihir Bhoja, the most prominent among them, established the largest empire in northern India with Kannauj as its capital. He issued silver coins bearing the emblem of Varaha and incarnation of Lord Vishnu. He also assumed the title of Adi Varaha. Al-Masudi, a foreign traveler, wrote extensively about the power and prestige of the Gurjara Pratihara rulers. They were great patrons of learning and literature. Rajshekhara, the famous Sanskrit poet, was patronized by the Pratihara rulers. The Pala Empire was established by Gopala around 750 century. His kingdom extended over the states of present-day Bengal, Bihar, parts of Odisha and Nepal. They fought many wars with the Gurjara Pratiharas and Rajputas. The Pala dynasty expanded their political boundaries under Dharpala and his son Devpura. Their empire included Kannauj, Odisha, Bihar, Assam and northern India. According to the Tibetan chroniclers, the Palas were patrons of Buddhist learning, literature and education. They had trade and cultural relations with the countries of Southeast Asia. Mahipala, one of the later rulers, was defeated by Rajendra Chola of the Chola dynasty in 1023 century. Rampala was the last known king of the dynasty. The Khalji invasions eventually dealt the final blow to the Pala dynasty. The Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakuta kingdom was established by Danti Durga or Danti Varma. The word Rashtra in Sanskrit means territory, while Kuta means chieftains. Prior to acquiring the status of a ruling dynasty in the Deccan, the Rashtrakutas were the vassals of the Chalukyan in central India. The dynasty produced many famous warriors and efficient administrators. Malkhela, Maniakhed, near modern Solapur in Maharashtra, was the capital of the Rajputas. They fought many wars with the Gurjara Pratiharas, the Chalukyas of Vengi, the Pallavas of Kanchi, and the Pandyas of Madurai. Gradually, large tracts of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Alwa came to be included in the Rashtrakuta Empire. So we stop this discussion here. Again, we shall see the next topic in the next video. Till then, thank you.